Hey, good evening, everyone. I have uploaded 12 lectures, 12, 13 lectures of world geography. Today I'm uploading more. Like like today or tomorrow, I'll be completing the entire जो geography के जितने भी lectures हैं 18-19 lecture हैं जो world geography जिससे आपकी basic clear हो जाएंगे वो मेरे portal पे आपको मिल जाएंगे like on YouTube channel. Please like, share and subscribe and I hope आपको इन lectures से help मिल रहा होगा. अच्छे से पढ़ाई करिए. These are free of cost. Please utilize your time and give your best so that without any investment you should clear this exam. समझिए, सोचिए, फिर पढ़िए. I hope you are enjoying my daily routine. Uh, exactly, it's not daily. मैं सो रहा है because of my health, but I'm trying my best. So keep preparing. This year you have to clear this exam. Take care. Tata.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I guess we were doing the rocks yesterday. कहाँ पे किया है हमने? Loess. So what is loess? Loess is a very, very fine sedimentary rock. Because it is fine sedimentary rock, उसका layers can be broken. Because it can be broken, it is carried by the winds. And when it is carried by the winds, it is deposited in the far off regions. It can be deposited in any of the surrounding region because the property is that कोई भी agent of erosion can carry the sediments जब तक उसका speed is greater. जैसे उसका speed decreases, the sediment starts getting deposited. So it starts depositing the sediments. You have a class again in the So this sediments are deposited. For example, एक हमने देखा कि Mongolian desert से the lowest deposits are taken. Lowest is taken and deposited in the Wangho River region. That is the Yellow River region. Because of this Yellow River region is known for the floods because lowest cannot give resistance to the water. It is easily eroded by water, and because the land is easily eroded by water, the land is irregular, and कोई भी land which is irregular, we call that as a badland topography. So this is one example. River erosion is one example of an badland topography. Now loess is so permeable that ऐसा लगता है dry region है क्या? That is, rivers in this lowest region will flow underground. The second example of the lowest region is the Limon region of France and Belgium. Limon क्यों? Because Loess is traditionally rich in lime. And the third region of Loess deposit is Adobe region of USA. So these are the three regions जहाँ पे we have a very large amount of Loess deposits. Obviously सबसे important कौन सा है? Is the Yellow River region of China. Now remember one thing, in the badland topography, means any region which is converted, if this is a flat region, it may be converted into small grooves. The small grooves may expand over the period of time, and this may become very large and become irregular. So this is how the land, original land, may get converted. So if the grooves are small, they are known by different names. If the grooves become larger, they are known by the other names. So Chambal is famous for what geographical term? Badland topography. उसमें क्या है? Chambal ravines. So when the grooves are very very small, it is known as rill. When the grooves become larger, it is known as gully. And when they become very large, it is known as ravines. But Chambal region is not associated with loess. It is just an badland topography wala region. Understood this? Can I say कि जहाँ पे vegetation नहीं होगा वहाँ पे there is a greater chance of badland topography? There is a greater chance because vegetation will bound the soil together. It will make the soil moist, and the moist soil is not easily eroded by the wind erosion or river erosion. So this is all about the which sedimentary rocks? Clastic or mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. Which one? No, Rajasthan is not loess. Rajasthan is a desert. Loess matlab the soil has to be rich in lime. So then only it is known as loess. That is desertification. Now the chemically formed sedimentary rocks. It will be formed due to which process? Disintegration or decomposition? Decomposition. Now how the process of decomposition may operate? The process of decomposition may operate by different mechanism. If this is a rock, for example, and यहाँ पे this rock is made up of minerals, band है इसमें, and this white color का part is maybe calcium. ये basalt है. Again this is calcium, and this is basalt, and this is calcium. Now imagine if a river is flowing through this region, what it will erode more? It will erode the calcium more. And when it erodes the calcium more, it will take the calcium and deposit it somewhere. So over the period of time, layers and layers of calcium will be deposited to give rise to the chemically formed sedimentary rock. So chemically formed sedimentary rock, you just remember it is formed by decomposition of existing rocks, the minerals which are soluble in water, are carried by the water, and deposited in some other place, to form chemically formed sedimentary rocks. Chemically formed sedimentary rocks are formed due to either the process of solution. What do you mean by solution? When the minerals get dissolved in water, as a process of solution. Example, NaCl. Example, potash. Example, halide. Can I write instead of NaCl common salt? Yes. So common salt, potash and halide. So common salt is an example of an chemically formed sedimentary rocks by the process of solution. Potash is what? Potash is an fertilizer. Again, it is an example of an chemically formed sedimentary rock. Potash is an important fertilizer. What do you mean by halite? Any idea what is halite? You use it, halite. Halite in simple words means senda namak. That is nothing but a salt, which is instead of being rich in sodium, is rich in magnesium and sodium. It is also an example of the chemically formed sedimentary rock, which is also known as an Himalayan pink salt. NPK. पोटेशियम है वो ये पोटैश है. Carbonation. Carbonation is nothing but solution of rocks which are rich in calcium. Example, limestone. So the rocks which are rich in calcium or rocks which are rich in limestone, they will react with water. After reacting with the water, उसके अंदर जो carbon है, it will react with water to form a weak acid which is known as an carbonic acid. And this carbonic acid will then erode most of the rocks and deposit it somewhere. This process is known as an carbonation. क्या फर्क है इसमें? इसमें it can occur in any of the rocks, but this specifically occurs in the calcium rich rocks. So you can take down the process of carbonation. The process of carbonation occurs in calcium rich rocks. Occurs in calcium rich rocks. Atmospheric carbon dioxide reacts with water forming weak carbonic acid, which then dissolves calcium rich rocks, or sediments. Rocks be या sediments be, but they have to be rich in calcium. Example is limestone. Limestone is nothing but calcium carbonate, but we cannot write calcium carbonate. Example is limestone. Example is gypsum. Limestone कहाँ पे यूज होता है? In the cement industry, in the building material. Gypsum कहाँ पे यूज होता है? What is gypsum in simple words? इस रूम में gypsum है. That is plaster of Paris. It is nothing but a plaster of Paris. It is used in construction industry. It is not used as an fertilizer. It is used not as a pesticide. It is used to reduce the salinity of the soil. Can anyone tell me why? Agriculture में क्यों use होता है? Why it is used to reduce the salinity of the soil? फर्टिलिटी और सैलिनिटी का क्यों वो फर्टिलिटी यूज करता है, ये मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. हाँ तो जिप्सम ही क्यों, ये मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. जिप्सम ही क्यों? देखो 2010-12 तक व्हाट इज यूज्ड टू रिड्यूस द सॉइल सैलिनिटी? आंसर जिप्सम. 2012 के बाद या 10 के बाद, 2012 से इनफैक्ट, व्हाई डू वी यूज जिप्सम? This is what they are checking. They are going more into the basics. They want you to know the chemical reaction. Answer is because it is acidic. Salinity is basic. So because of the presence of calcium, जो salinity है, salinity means sodium. So it removes the sodium from the soil because of chemical reaction and thus improves the water retention capacity of a soil. कोई लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं, ये सब PPT में है, जो prelims के related facts है. जिप्सम का यूज उन्होंने पूछा था, उसका और एप्लीकेशन कैसे सैलिनिटी को कम करता है, बिकॉज इट इंप्रूव्स द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द सॉइल एंड हेल्प्स इन रिमूवल ऑफ वाटर, ये पूछा था यूपीएससी ने. इट हेल्प्स इन द इन्फिल्ट्रेशन ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर. सो जब वो सैलिनिटी को खत्म करेगा, इट विल ओपन द पोर्स. व्हेन इट विल ओपन द पोर्स, इट विल अलाउ द वाटर टू पास. जैसे ही वाटर पास होगा तो सैलिनिटी निकल जाएगी. दैट इज, आई हैव इंक्लूडेड दैट आल्सो इन दिस. फाइन विद दिस? Oxidation. What is oxidation? Reduction of, or in simple words can I say it is nothing but rusting. So कोई भी चीज जब रस्ट होगी तो क्या होगा, कैसा कलर आएगा उसका? Reddish brown. So go today down and take up any rock in India, you will find reddish brown crust on the rocks, because the oxidation is the most common process in the tropical regions जहाँ पे the temperature is very high and also the humidity is high. Example अपना monsoon, high humidity, high temperature, plus rocks are rich in iron, and because of this they form reddish brown crust on the top of the rocks. UPSC ये पूछता है, why there is a reddish brown crust on the top of the rocks? The answer is because of oxidation. So it occurs in the rocks rich in iron. It occurs in the rocks rich in iron. These rocks undergo rusting. These rocks undergo rusting, especially in tropical and subtropical regions. You will understand this in climatology, what do you mean by tropical, what do you mean by subtropical. Tropical is equator, 0 to 10 degree north, 0 to 10 degree south. फिर 23 degree and a half to 30 degree north, 23 and a half to 30 degree south latitude is subtropical. So in the especially in the tropical and the subtropical regions. Therefore, the rocks develop reddish brown. Therefore, the rocks develop reddish brown covering or crust. Crust मतलब जरूरी नहीं अर्थ का ही crust. Rocks develop reddish brown covering or crust. Example, common type of process in India. Common type of process in India. Common type of process in India. Third, organically formed sedimentary rocks. Organically formed sedimentary rocks. Organically formed matlab they are derived from the living organisms. That is, they are derived from the organic elements. Organic elements means the dead and decomposed organisms. Obviously, living, dead and decomposed organisms, not from the abiotic. It is from the biotic component. So, the rocks that have been derived, due to physical disintegration, or chemical decomposition. Chemical decomposition of organic sediments, are known as organically formed sedimentary rocks. Are known as organically formed sedimentary rocks. If the rocks are rich in carbon, it will result into formation of coal. If the rocks are rich in carbon, it will result into formation of coal. So coal is an example of an organically formed sedimentary rock. Chahe wo peat ho, whether it is anthracite. Anthracite is slightly changed. Anthracite is an example of an metamorphic rock. But coal, peat, lignite, bituminous, these are proper organically formed sedimentary rocks when vegetation, especially the tropical vegetation, is buried below the which water? Fresh or saline? Below the fresh water. It occurs when vegetation is buried below the fresh water. Second example is limestone. See, limestone is both an example of an chemically formed as well as an organically formed sedimentary rock. That is, agar the bones of the dead and decomposed matter or the animals which are rich in calcium, they are buried over the period of time, we will find limestone. Example is coral reefs. So you just remember, these are rich in calcium. Third organically formed sedimentary rock. Chalk. A soft rock, again, which is rich in calcium carbonate. A soft rock which is rich in calcium carbonate. So these are organically formed sedimentary rocks. Though process is same, but they are not rocks. Uska example is petroleum. Petroleum is liquid. It is not rock, but it is formed by the same process by how the coal is formed. When the living matter, chahe wo animals ho ya plants ho, they go below the saline water, it will result into formation of the petroleum or natural gas. If the organic matter is trapped in between the shale rocks, we will call that as an shale gas. So this is how the process is there. Why I am saying all this, you should remember that how important are the sedimentary rocks in our everyday life. Chalk ho, limestone ho, common salt ho, potash ho. So this all are an examples of an sedimentary rocks. Coral reefs, though it is a dead structure, jiske upar the new corals will stay. But what is the importance of coral reefs? Tsunami, I'll just give one example, बाद में हम देखेंगे. Coral reefs account for $9 trillion of GDP every year. उसके बहुत सारे benefits है, बहुत सारे उसके example is most of the cancer medicine is coming from coral reefs. Most of the sunscreen products are coming from the coral reefs. They account for $9 trillion of GDP. If you conserve the coral reefs, it gives the world $9 trillion. India की GDP is 2.6 trillion dollars. उससे 3 गुना ज़्यादा is the income from the coral reefs. The countries, those who have conserved the coral reefs, are richer than India. Example is Maldives. Example is Mauritius. Example is Australia. Australia में $900 million का business generate करता है coral reefs. So this is one example. Why? Because tourists go to enjoy the coral reefs. This is what is known as a green GDP. So over the period of time, if you conserve the coral reefs, there are multi-dimensional benefits. इसलिए आई हैव टोल्ड यू एन एग्जांपल, तमिलनाडु इज मेकिंग उसका आर्टिफिशियल कोरल रीफ. That is one step further.
What is the process takes place? Like, what is the process
Coral
takes
reefs,
when,
coral reefs, oceanography.
no, I'm asking about that petroleum and coal mix. Like, means अगर ocean के नीचे बच जाता है तो petroleum होता है सारे coal, so इसके नीचे क्या?
कोई ज़रूरत नहीं. Coral bleaching, that is also a topic. That is also a topic, oceanography. The characteristics of the sedimentary rocks. See, why we did not do the igneous rocks in detail? Because we have done magma. The answer will be more or less same, the two types of igneous rocks. But the types of sedimentary rock आपको डिटेल में करना पड़ेगा, इसके जितने भी एग्जाम्पल्स है याद रखने पड़ेंगे for the preliminary examination. Then you will have to remember some of the characteristics. So can I say the first characteristics is these rocks are crystalline? No. Cooling हो रहा है कहीं पे? नहीं. So can I say the first characteristics is these rocks are stratified, that is they are arranged in layers, and the layers are known as bedding planes. So whenever comes the sedimentary rocks, you just remember the key word is stratified. These rocks are stratified, that is they are arranged in layers. They are arranged in layers. They are arranged in layers, and the layers are known as bedding planes of sedimentary rocks. The layers are known as bedding planes of the sedimentary rocks. Secondly, can I say these rocks will contain fossils? Yes. That is, if we get destroyed, एक तो coal बनो, petroleum बनो, या फिर एज अ फॉसिल कंजर्व होके रहो इन द सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स. रॉक्स का एज हम डिटरमाइन नहीं कर सकते. वी कैन नो कि कौन से टाइम दैट लेयर वाज फॉर्म्ड बिकॉज ऑफ द फॉसिल्स, कार्बन डेटिंग. कैन यू रिलेट दिस टू समथिंग टू करंट अफेयर्स, संडे न्यूज़पेपर? दैट इज द हड़प्पा साइट्स एंड द डिस्कवरी ऑफ लार्ज river channels. So now it has come paleoclimatic evidences of Harappa sites. Sunday का newspaper में पढ़ा है. So they have said that the Indus Valley civilization has declined because water कम हुआ. अभी तक हमारे books में क्या है? Because of Aryan invasion. Now what was that Aryan invasion? I don't know whether you should be writing the same thing in the exam or not. I guess you will be writing the same thing because वो अब तक literature में आना बाकी है. These are the discoveries which are coming up. But this is how we were made mentally the slaves of the Britishers. Aryan invasion, if it is true, then they can justify the British invasion also. If they can justify the British invasion, what they are telling you? You are born to be ruled. You are born to be slaves. So earlier Aryans ने आप पे rule किया, फिर द मुगल्स ने आपको रूल किया, उसके बाद द ब्रिटिशर्स ने आप पे रूल किया. सो दिस इज व्हाई इट वाज वेरी वेरी गुड फॉर ब्रिटिशर्स टू फर्स्ट शो द आर्यन इन्वेजन, सेकंड टू मेक द यूज ऑफ हिंदू वर्सेस मुस्लिम so that they can justify the rule. But अभी the things have shown that आर्यन इन्वेजन ऐसा एक थियरी है. ये the more important evidence is coming up, drying up of river Saraswati. And this we know through the radiocarbon dating because हमें हड़प्पा sites मिली है. And we have seen alluvial deposits. अब alluvial deposits is nothing but a sedimentary rock which has been deposited by the river. अगर moranic deposit होता, we'll be using these terms later on. अगर moranic deposit होता means यहाँ पे river नहीं, glacier is flowing. अगर aeolian deposit होता, aeolian मतलब deposits by wind, इसका मतलब ये पहले से ही desert है. So this is what Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, एक तो बड़े river channels. Now the river channel is very small, but the big river channel shows that this area was very wet. Then over the period of time, the river channel has decreased. That means if you go and dig down deep यहाँ पे, there are chances you will find a fossil. You will find numerous sedimentary rocks. Wegener की continental drift theory याद करो. That is a tail of a dinosaur in South America and head in Africa. That is, it showed that these two continents were together. So remember the second and the most important point, that the sedimentary rocks contain fossils. The sedimentary rocks contain fossils. इसके बारे में I am giving you something extra. Because of the discovery of, this is nothing to with geography, this is a current affairs based GK based question. Because of the discovery of, so you can write this in the bracket, because of discovery of the fossils of cheetah, comma, rhinos, both one-horned rhino and two-horned rhino, both one-horned rhino and two-horned rhino. In northwest India, in the northwest India means which states? Rajasthan, West India is Gujarat. So Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana. आज जहाँ पे जंगल बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, but एक ज़माने में there was cheetah here. Once upon a time there was rhino. आज इंडिया में rhinos है? Assam. What is that? One-horned rhino or two-horned rhino? One-horned. But there was even a two-horned rhino in India once upon a time. Why? Because we have found the fossils. So in the northwest India, showed that this animal existed in India. Showed that this animals existed in India. Existed in India. Bracket close. Remember, we will finish our geography. After many months, you will have maybe, in case if you cannot revise the classes very quickly, you will have your examination. So, अगर कोई ऐसी news आती है, तो what is your work? Your work is to note it down. News आएगी regarding the discovery of different types of fossils, different types of sediments, different types of cities which are below the earth. You should note it down. But what you should note it down if the major fossil is found. अगर किसी छिपकली का फॉसिल मिला, गेको कॉमनली आता है हिंदू में, गेको इज फाउंड, गेको मतलब छिपकली, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं याद रखने की. कोई लिजर्ड मिला, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं याद रखने की. कोई फ्रॉग डिस्कवर हुआ, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं याद रखने की. बट अगर कोई मेजर एनिमल का फॉसिल इज फॉर्म, देन यू शुड नोट इट डाउन. And this generally comes on the last page of the Hindu newspaper. It even comes on Sunday, especially in the Sunday magazine. संडे को जो मैगजीन आता है उसमें लास्ट पेज और फर्स्ट पेज के कुछ कुछ इश्यूज आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो इट विल नॉट गिव यू अ फैक्चुअल डेटा, बट इट विल गिव यू अ गुड एनालिसिस ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट. सो रीडिंग द सब्जेक्ट संडे मैगजीन, दिस इज द बेस्ट टाइम, क्योंकि आपका अभी लोड थोड़ा कम है. You can anyways revise this subject later on, but right now try to use a different viewpoint. Diversify your thought process, and better you read, there will be more diversification of the thought process. So example, last to last Sundays ka Sunday magazine was talking about missing children. Economic survey talks about missing women, missing girl child. Now they are talking about the missing children. कहाँ पे use हो सकता है? It is child trafficking in India. You can use this in the child trafficking in India. You can use this in forced child labor in India. So you try to use these words in the examination. That is what, that's background I took to say that Saraswati river. Ghaggar is nothing but a remaining part of an old Saraswati river. Third characteristics. Can I say just जो हमने लिखा था in the igneous rocks कि they are found in big forms? Yeah, we will be writing they are found in the smaller forms because they can be easily eroded. So क्या हो होगा, बिकॉज दे कैन बी इजीली इरोडेड, दे आर नॉट फाउंड इन द वेरी लार्ज फॉर्म. सेडिमेंट्री रॉक का माउंटेन नहीं मिलेगा आपको, सेडिमेंट्री रॉक के प्लेन्स मिलेंगे, बट सिंगल रॉक नहीं मिलेगा, एंटायरली सेडिमेंट्री रॉक. बट यू विल फाइंड अ मेजर igneous rock का mountain, you will find major the metamorphic rock का mountain, but sedimentary rock का mountain नहीं मिलेगा. sedimentary rock का सिर्फ cover मिलेगा. So you can take down, because they are less resistant to erosion, because they are less resistant to erosion, they are found in smaller forms, and deposited in far away lands, in the form of soil. Deposited in the faraway lands in the form of soil. What does it mean? It means Himalayas ka rocks will be broken by the rivers and deposited much far away to form the Great Plains. But rocks jaisa nahi milega. What you will find there is the alluvial soil. Next point. Mark this point as an important point. Sedimentary rocks, though they cover the largest surface area of the globe or of the earth, they account for only 5% of the mass of the crust. They account for only 5% of the mass of the earth's crust. Mass के बदले अगर volume भी आता है, the answer is same. They account for only 5% of mass or volume of the earth. What does this statement means? कि they may be found over the largest area. In fact, वहाँ पे sedimentary rocks cover the largest surface area of the globe. Bracket में लिख सकते हो आप 75%. 75% of the earth is covered by the sedimentary rocks. But उनका वजन कितना है? Only 5%. So can I say this is nothing but a tablecloth? So you have to remember that only the surface area is covered by the sedimentary rock. So I am drawing this diagram. This diagram means कि ऊपर there is an layer of soil. The soil obviously is made from the sedimentary rock. And उसके नीचे is the country rock. Country rock is a term used for the hard rocks such as the igneous and the metamorphic rock. Country rock इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि देश का rock है. It means that is it is the hard rock. Similarly, the country side मतलब ये नहीं कि किसी country की side, it means village. Countryside means village. We will require the countryside later on when we do the economic geography. Fine with this? Next. Sedimentary rocks are important. Sedimentary rocks are economically important. Sedimentary rocks are economically important because they provide food resources. They provide food resources, comma, energy resources, as well as various industrial raw materials, Because the sedimentary rocks are permeable, surface water percolates. Percolate means goes down. Surface water percolates. And these regions are rich in groundwater. These regions are rich in groundwater. इन चारों में से किसका ग्राउंड वाटर विल बी हाईएस्ट? बाय मेघालय. मैंने ओरिजिनल क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा चेंज किया एंड आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग लोग बोलेंगे मेघालय, इसलिए आई गेव मेघालय बिकॉज बारिश बहुत ज़्यादा है. रिमेंबर, बारिश और ग्राउंड वाटर का कोई रिलेशन नहीं. माय आंसर इज दिल्ली. द ओरिजिनल क्वेश्चन वुड हैव बीन हिमालयाज, peninsular plateau, northeast and Great Plains. So कहाँ पे है sedimentary rock? It is in the Great Plains. Meghalaya as well as Karnataka is nothing but an peninsular plateau. In fact, मासवंद्रम and चेरापूंजी जहाँ में वर्ल्ड सबसे ज़्यादा रेनफॉल है, you should know every year there is a problem of drought. March आते ही that area has a problem of drought. That is, this is a paradox in India. The world's highest rainfall region faces every year drought. Why? Because इतना ज़्यादा steep slope and the rock is there, so all जितना भी ये rainfall है, it washes down as a surface runoff. Nothing goes below. For the rainfall to go down as a groundwater, दो चीज़ें necessary है. एक तो rainfall should not be very heavy. जितना ज़्यादा heavy rainfall, it will result into soil erosion. And secondly, rock नहीं होना चाहिए नीचे. So example is Delhi, and therefore you see in your everyday example, Delhi में सबसे common है motor, या Great Plains में सबसे common है motor. मोटर चलाओ पानी आएगा. अगर देखेंगे पानी रिसोर्सेस रेनफॉल दिल्ली में बहुत कम है. पिछले 10 साल में सबसे ज़्यादा रेनफॉल दिख रही है मुझे इस साल. दिस इज़ नॉट द नॉर्मल रेनफॉल. नहीं तो दिल्ली में इतना ज़्यादा रेनफॉल नहीं होता. दिस इज़ अ सेमी एरिड रीजन. स्टिल द ग्राउंड वाटर रिसोर्सेस आर हाई. पंजाब इज ऑल्सो सेमी एरिड एंड एरिड. हरियाणा इज सेमी एरिड. So still the groundwater resources are very high. Why? Because it is the rock is soft, which allows the percolation of an groundwater.
Suppose the regions which are less from groundwater. So what can we do that we can dig the sediments from somewhere and we can
Can you dig the sediments from somewhere and make an entire city like Delhi? The world is so big. कहाँ से you will bring, कहाँ से you will transport? So डैम्स तो हमेशा आर्टिफिशियल ही होंगे. That is a different thing. चाइना में नहीं, हम भी करते हैं बाय डिगिंग टैंक्स, पॉन्ड्स, जिसको हम बाद में इंडियन ज्योग्राफी में पढ़ेंगे एज वाटरशेड मैनेजमेंट. वाटरशेड मैनेजमेंट इज अ टॉपिक इन इटसेल्फ, जिसके गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के प्रोग्राम का नाम है निरांचल, निरांचल प्रोजेक्ट और द वाटरशेड मैनेजमेंट. सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल, रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग. रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग कैन बी डन, बट इट हैज़ नथिंग टू डू विद द जियोलॉजी. उसके बाद ह्यूमन्स कैन डू एनीथिंग, बट ऐसा ये नहीं कि पूरा पेनिनसुलर प्लाटू को सेडिमेंट्स लेके जाएंगे फ्रॉम ग्रेट प्लेन्स एंड इट विल मेक अ सॉइल. एंड उसके नीचे कितनी आप सॉइल डालोगे 1 किलोमीटर 2 किलोमीटर. सो वो तो एनीवेज इट विल बी इरोडेड विद द हेवी रेनफॉल. Metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock means one which has formed due to temperature and pressure changes. That is, can I say transformation of original rock due to temperature and pressure changes. Due to temperature and the pressure changes. It is nothing but the transformation of an original rock due to temperature and or pressure changes. दोनों हो सकता है, only temperature also, only pressure also. Next point is important in metamorphism is, in metamorphism there is no breaking of the rocks. There is no breaking or disintegration of a rock. पूरा का पूरा rock will over the period of time change. जैसे ही disintegration होगा तो what we will call this as sedimentary rock. Now understand the third characteristics of metamorphic rock. If this is an original rock which may have different minerals, sedimentary rock में minerals होते हैं, or it may have crystals. Now due to the process of metamorphism, again don't worry why, otherwise you will have to open your physics ka books. So due to the process of metamorphism, there is so much temperature and pressure change that all the minerals or crystals get aligned in a parallel band. So ये जितने भी minerals है which are dispersed, they will get concentrated in the parallel band. And this is how the minerals will be arranged. They will get displaced and arranged in the parallel band. So एक mineral हो सकता है which is giving a darker color, दूसरा हो सकता है which is having a lighter color. And therefore we will call this parallel arrangement of crystals as foliation. So कोई भी metamorphic rock is an example of an foliated rock. Example, if you have access to marble, घर पे जाके marble flooring देखना and it will be having a black color का band. So that is an example of an foliation, because जो weak rock है limestone या चूना, after metamorphism it becomes a very very strong rock, that is marble. And क्यों है black color का band? Because of an foliation. So जब भी हम metamorphic rock की बात करेंगे, what is the key word you should remember? That these are foliated rocks. These are foliated rocks. So the third point is these are foliated rocks. Nothing, this crystals या जो minerals है, due to temperature or pressure changes, they undergo change in the chemical property, and after going change in the chemical property, they get arranged in a similar manner. So as a result, we have bands on the rocks, and that is known as foliation. So the thing is, these are foliated rocks. Now you write down, foliation means arrangement of crystals in the parallel bands. Arrangement of crystals in parallel bands. Next property is, these are hard rocks, and hence similar to the igneous rocks, they occur in massive forms. Similar to the igneous rock, they occur in the massive forms. Next property is, will they contain fossils? No, they will not contain fossils. Why? Temperature या pressure will destroy the fossils. See, pressure मतलब normal pressure नहीं. Pressure means the Himalayas का pressure, that is folding वाला pressure, या tensional या compressional force that is caused due to the movement of the earth's crust. So इतने high pressure में obviously fossils will be destroyed. Temperature means volcano वाला temperature, and thus if any fossil is there, it will be destroyed. So the metamorphic rocks do not contain fossils. Metamorphic rock do not contain fossils. Metamorphic rock do not contain fossils. Next point, metamorphic rock are economically most important. Metamorphic rock are economically most important because they contain the storehouse of minerals. Because they contain the storehouse of minerals, इसका मतलब they are rich in minerals, especially metallic minerals, such as iron ore, gold, copper, manganese, etc. क्या प्रॉपर्टी है? पैरेलल प्रॉपर्टी है ये मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक की. Yes, will not be changing only the area which comes in the contact will be metamorphosed. What is I am showing this? This is an foliation. And इसका बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल इज limestone is converted to marble. इसका सेकंड एग्जाम्पल इज coal or carbon is converted into diamond. Graphite नहीं, graphite diamond will be converted to graphite. इसलिए ग्रेफाइट बहुत कॉमन है बिकॉज मोटामॉर्फिज्म हिस्टोरिकल पास्ट में हुआ है, डायमंड बहुत कम है. ग्रेनाइट कहाँ पे पढ़ा हमने? विल कम टू ईच एंड एवरी. ये वाला पार्ट, सो दिस इज एन ओरिजिनल रॉक, सेडिमेंट्री रॉक, इसलिए मैंने लेयर्स में या जॉइंट्स में बनाया. नाउ अ डाइक इज गोइंग, दैट इज ए मैग्मा इज गोइंग. ये वे है मैग्मा दिखाने का. सो व्हेन द मैग्मा इज गोइंग, जितना भी एरिया विच कम्स इन द कॉन्टैक्ट विथ हॉट टेम्परेचर गेट्स मेटामॉर्फिक, व्हाइल द रिमेनिंग रिमेन्स original rock remains sediment. प्रेशर कर रहे हैं हम या थर्मल कर रहे हैं? This is temperature. Thermal metamorphism is caused due to high temperature. हाँ, प्रेशर की बात ही कहाँ हो रही है, टेम्परेचर की बात हो रही है. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. थर्मल मेटामॉर्फिज्म मीन्स टेम्परेचर. देयर इज नो कंसेप्ट ऑफ प्रेशर ओनली हियर. ड्यू टू टेम्परेचर एंड और प्रेशर चेंजेस, मतलब टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर चेंजेस ऑल्सो, ओनली टेम्परेचर चेंज ऑल्सो, ओनली प्रेशर चेंज ऑल्सो. सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी आर डूइंग द टेम्परेचर चेंज. यहाँ पे प्रेशर की बात ही नहीं हो रही है. दे आर चेंज, वी हैव रिटन ऑल्सो, दे आर कॉज ड्यू टू वेरी वेरी हाई टेम्परेचर. सो वेयर इज द प्रेशर? गेटिंग इट? मैग्मा तो रॉक्स में से ही आएगा. एंटायर प्लेट टेक्टोनिक्स में हमने देखा कि मैग्मा इज गोइंग टू कम अप थ्रू रॉक्स. You are asking, you both are asking a very basic question. अगर मैग्मा ऊपर ही नहीं आया तो वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन कैसे होंगे?
आप कह रहे हैं ना कि इसमें प्रेशर नहीं है, इसमें सिर्फ टेम्परेचर.
वो तो अंडरस्टूड है कि प्रेशर वो नीचे से ऊपर आएगा, मतलब देयर इज अ कन्वेक्शनल करंट एंड प्रेशर. सो दैट इज अ वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चन. थोड़ा ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. यहाँ पे हम प्रेशर की बात इसलिए नहीं कर रहे बिकॉज दिस इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ एन थर्मल मेटामॉर्फिज्म. अगर ये यहाँ पे प्रेशर की बात करोगे तो आंसर चेंज हो जाएगा ज्योग्राफी का. ऑब्वियस है कि मैग्मा में प्रेशर है, नीचे से ऊपर आ रहा है. ये तो पूरा हमने प्लेट टेक्टोनिक्स में देखा, सी फ्लोर स्प्रेडिंग में देखा. दैट इज इट वी कैन इरप्ट द माउंटेन्स. अगर प्रेशर नहीं होगा देन हाउ वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन? हम तो लिखते कि मैग्मा इज साइलेंटली फ्लोइंग, इतना ही लिखते, वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन नहीं लिखते. सो ऑब्वियसली इट हैज प्रेशर. Yes, yes. It will melt and then over the period of time, due to melting ionization होता है. Due to ionization there is a parallel arrangement of crystals. Because of high temperature, crystals get attracted to each other, the same, and then there is an foliation. हाँ, किसी से भी हो सकता है. मैग्मा हमने डाइक कहाँ लिखा है? हाँ हाँ हाँ. Graphite is an example of metamorph. Now you can take down engineer. So
If you explain an engineer, he won't ask you the doubt again. But if you explain something, other
don't worry. So ऐसा नहीं है. Anyone can ask the doubts. Now you can take down is the. मैंने इसलिए पूछा कि मुझे भी गर्मी बहुत ज़्यादा हो रही है. So thermal metamorphism is caused. Thermal metamorphism is caused due to high temperatures. Due to high temperature. Full stop. During volcanic eruption, when magma rises upwards, it changes the rocks. This original rock can be any rock. It can be metamorphic, it can be igneous, it can be sedimentary. Metamorphic rock है तो फिर से वो metamorphic हो जाएगा. That is what is known as remetamorphism. It changes the rocks which comes in contact to a new metamorphic rock. याद रखना कि ये ग्राउंड पे भी हो सकता है. लावा इज कमिंग अप एंड नीचे का रॉक विल बिकम मेटामॉर्फिक. इनफैक्ट थोड़ा बहुत मेटामॉर्फिज्म आप घर में भी देखते हो. इफ यू हैव अ पॉट एट अ सिंगल प्लेस फॉर मेनी ईयर्स, you take out that pot and नीचे का rock का characteristic has changed. What is happening is the metamorphism is happening. There is a change in the rock structure which is occurring. इसका example remember, coal is converted into diamond or carbon is converted into diamond, limestone is converted into marble. Yes, we'll do this rock cycle as a separate topic.
So, if diamond is there and it comes again in contact with lava, then
ग्रेफाइट.
okay.
इसलिए ग्रेफाइट बहुत ज़्यादा कॉमन है और सस्ता है. डायमंड इज बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द डायमंड वाले ओरिजिनल रीजन्स हैव नाउ गॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू ग्रेफाइट. Dynamic or regional metamorphism. It occurs due to intense pressure. In the areas of fold mountains, regional metamorphism is common in the areas of fold mountains Regional metamorphism is common. Regional metamorphism is common because of great pressure exerted by the plates. Because of the great pressure exerted by the plates. See, NCERT में there are 4 types. Regional and contact अलग से दिया है, thermal and dynamic अलग से दिया है, but जब explanation पढ़ोगे तो it is more or less same. So you try to combine this. We have combined these two in this. Now why it is known as dynamic? Because pressure यहाँ पे applied हो रहा है and change is occurring in the center जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा pressure है. We have seen this in the fold, over thrust fold also. Why it is known as regional? Because it is exactly opposite to contact. Contact, as soon as it comes into contact is occurring somewhere else, the effects are seen somewhere else. So this is an original sedimentary rock, while this is an metamorphic rock. कहाँ पे मिलेगा इंडिया में ये? इन द हिमालयस. Lava will come up and it can change the surface rocks also, but generally yes, below the crust. No, obviously not. अगर heat of the sun होता metamorphism, how we can be alive? Coal mine 6,000 7,000 डिग्री सेल्सियस, इतना ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर. ऐसे 1100-1200 डिग्री पे नहीं होगा. इट हैज़ टू बी वेरी वेरी हाई टेम्परेचर. हाउ द आर्टिफिशियल डायमंड आर मेड? बाय पुटिंग कलेक्टेड कार्बन inside a furnace and then suddenly rising the temperature to 6,000 7,000 degree Celsius. Now ये examples are common to both. Pressure, because of pressure. जहाँ जहाँ pressure है involved, it is mostly known as dynamic. सबसे ज़्यादा प्रेशर जो फोल्ड हो रहा है एरिया उधर. Yes, foliation will be there always. So the examples do this very properly for the exam. First example, we have written limestone into marble. Limestone is converted into marble, and you can see how much change in the properties there. Marble is so tough rock and limestone is a very very weak rock. Coal can be converted into diamond. Generally यहाँ पे the process involved is thermal, and diamond is further converted into graphite. जो मैंने ब्लैंक छोड़ा है वहाँ पे प्रेशर अल्सो कैन प्ले अ रोल और टेम्परेचर अल्सो कैन प्ले अ रोल. मतलब इसमें सिर्फ एक ही एग्जाम्पल है जो प्रॉपरली थर्मल है, बाकी सब कॉमन है. लाइमस्टोन टू मार्बल कैन अल्सो बी अ कॉमन, इट कैन अल्सो अकर ड्यू टू प्रेशर. थर्ड, बिटुमिनस कोल. is converted into anthracite. I guess we have just introduced the distribution of coal in India. Anthracite कहाँ पे मिलता है इंडिया में? Jammu and Kashmir. Now you understand why? Because of the fold mountains, pressure which has been caused. Granite, which is an original igneous rock, is converted into gneiss. Granite, which is an original igneous rock, is converted into gneiss. So Indian geography में हम कहेंगे that Himalayas are dominated by gneiss. Why? Because जो original granite था, continental crust, it has now got converted into gneiss. Shale is converted into schist. Schist is another type of an metamorphic rock. So Archean, gneiss and schist हम कहेंगे peninsular plateau को. Archean very old. कौन से rocks है? Gneiss and schist. Tertiary young fold mountain again made up of gneiss and schist, but वो young gneiss and schist है. Sandstone is converted into quartz or quartzite. कहाँ पे यूज होता है? प्रिसिशन इंडस्ट्री. इतना ज़्यादा प्रॉपर होता है दिस मेटामॉर्फिज्म दैट इट कैन प्रॉपरली रिफ्लेक्ट द लाइट. प्रिसिशन इंडस्ट्री, वॉचेस, फोटोग्राफी, क्वार्ट्जाइट इज यूज्ड इन दिस. रॉक्स है मेटामॉर्फिक. You belong to which state? Himachal. So you will find gneiss common over there. जो भी रॉक दिखेगा whitish कलर का, it is gneiss. Shale, KG basin. You will have to go below the Krishna and Godavari rivers to see shale. Then sandstone can also be converted into slate. You have used slate also and you have used chalk also. Slate लिखने के लिए, that is use the pad used to kg के दिन. I don't know when your zamana there was a slate or not. So and the chalk. So chalk से क्यों लिखते हो? Chalk से इसलिए लिखते हो because it is sedimentary. Slate से लिखने जाओगे तो and chalk से अगर ये बनाओगे board तो वो टूट जाएगा. So you have to understand how we are using this kind of an rocks, because metamorphic rock is always tougher and this is always weaker. So these are an example of the metamorphism. Limestone into marble, coal into graphite, the bituminous into anthracite, granite into gneiss, shale into schist, sandstone into quartz, or sandstone can be even converted into slate. ये याद रखना for Indian geography also, ये याद रखना even for preliminary examination. Fine with this? No, non-reversible.
सर ये क्वार्ट्जाइट बनेगा या स्लेट बनेगा, ये डिपेंड करेगा प्रेशर, टेम्परेचर.
Many things. हिंदी. Fossils will be destroyed by pressure, very high pressure. Suppose you are there, or Indian plate and Eurasian plate के बीच you are there. So will you be destroyed by the pressure? कुछ बचेगा? Fossils is what? You find entire, at least एक bone तो मिलना चाहिए, एक दांत मिलना चाहिए. It will be crushed and it will become a part of an soil. So कुछ नहीं बचेगा. आत्मा बचेगी, बट आत्मा की मेजरमेंट ओरिजिनल है. एंटायर ओरिजिनल प्रॉपर्टीज चेंज. इज कोल सेम एज डायमंड? उसमें भी होती है. That is the, even in any kind of metamorphism, there is no breaking, but there is change in the original properties. Simple है. If I take this plastic and if I burn it, or if I apply the pressure, will it not change? उसका original property will not change. So that is what is metamorphism. This all is an example of an regional metamorphism. Original property has changed. Original property will always change. रॉक साइकिल में जाएगा तो रिवर्सिबल नहीं. रिवर्सिबल इज यू गो टू दैट कंडीशन एंड अगेन कम बैक टू द ओरिजिनल कंडीशन. सो दैट इज व्हाई वी आर सेइंग इट इज नॉट रिवर्सिबल. मेटामॉर्फिक ऐसा जनरलाइज नहीं है. ग्रेनाइट इज ऑल्सो टफ. सो डायमंड मार्बल इज ऑल्सो टफ, बट मार्बल इज मोर टफर देन ग्रेनाइट. सो यू कैनॉट से दिस. ग्रेफाइट जनरलाइजेशन. जनरली वी से हार्ड रॉक्स. सी यहाँ पे देर इज, यू विल ऑलवेज यूज द वर्ड ज्योग्राफी में जनरली, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट कॉज इफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप. कैन आई कंटिन्यू? नहीं आते. So due to cooling and solidification of magma, which kind of rock will be formed? Basaltic or igneous? Igneous rock. Can I say this igneous rock will break to form sediments? And the sediments over the period of time will be lithified. लिथिफाइड हमने देखा है. कॉम्पैक्शन, सीमेंटेशन टू फॉर्म विच काइंड ऑफ एन रॉक? कौन से रॉक्स बनेंगे? लिथिफिकेशन, सेडिमेंटेशन किस में है? इन द सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स. कैन आई से दिस सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स में अंडरगो temperature or and pressure changes? Very high temperature and very high pressure. So which rock will be formed? It is the metamorphic. And this metamorphic rock, due to subduction or due to melting, very high temperature, can I say it may become magma? And this magma over the period of time may cool and solidify to again form an igneous rock. So it will go into subduction zone, it will become a part of magma, it may come out due to seafloor spreading, or it may come out due to volcanic eruptions. So this entire process is one rock cycle. But zaruri nahi that sedimentary rock has to get converted into metamorphic. Sedimentary rock can even get converted into igneous rocks. Why? Due to becoming a part of a magma. If suppose these Great Plains of India go below the subduction zone, जो हो रहा है at the rate of 5 centimeters per year. So are they becoming igneous? No, they are ultimately becoming they are becoming igneous. They are not becoming metamorphic. So they are getting melted, and therefore we can say this any sedimentary rock can become igneous rock. Similarly, granite is getting converted to gneiss. So can I say igneous rock can directly get converted into an metamorphic rock? right? And you take marble and you crush the marble and mix it in the soil. So क्या होगा? Sediments. और फिर उसमें से sediments जो marble में से calcium will be removed, magnesium will be removed, and उससे एक अलग अलग टाइप के रॉक बनेंगे. So can I say metamorphic rock can also over the period of time become sediment? So this entire process of how the rock changes is known as an rock cycle. NCERT में the same diagram has been given in a complicated manner. So this is a very simple diagram you can remember for the rock cycle. Fine with this? प्रोसेस है वो. किसमें? क्यों नहीं हो सकता? रीमेटामॉर्फिज्म किसको कहते हैं? आदमी थोड़ी कर रहा है ग्रेफाइट उसको, डायमंड को. वो तो नेचर कर रहा है ना. कौन सा आदमी करेगा डायमंड मिला और उसको ग्रेफाइट? और क्या आदमी के पास इतना टेम्परेचर और प्रेशर है? या आप उसको कैसे करोगे ग्रेफाइट? गैस पे रख के कितने साल रखना पड़ेगा? Can I have this part? सी, एग्जाम के लिए इतना याद रखो, वो नहीं पूछेंगे कि क्यों बन रहा है. दिस इज अ इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक. रॉक्स में अगर मेंस पे आएगा तो दिस विल बी द क्वेश्चन. Distribution of rocks in India. That is how we have the kind of an rocks in India. So I'll quickly revise what you have studied till now. India was an part of the Gondwana land, जिसका part Africa भी था, जिसका part was Madagascar also. It broke from the Gondwana land, and after breaking, I told you even in the first lecture, not necessarily this was the shape of India. So it started coming northwards. Now, over the period, this peninsular plateau has traveled to the north and still survived. Means it is made up of tough rocks. And which is the toughest rock? Is the metamorphic, generally. Graphite is an exception. So, over the period of time, it is coming upwards and still it is surviving. And therefore, yaad rakhna first lecture, we call this region as shield. Shield volcano wala nahi, the geological shield. Canada, the Africa, Australia, and the Deccan Plateau. So the entire Deccan Plateau should have been a metamorphic rock. Should have been a metamorphic rock, but as the Deccan Plateau was passing, uska western part came under the influence of reunion hotspot, and as a result of this, we have यहाँ पे the Deccan lava plateau or black soil. So ये part बन गया at least on the top. कौन सा rock? Igneous rock. Only on the top it is an igneous rock. आज भी peninsular India में if you dig much deeper, so in this peninsular India below the basalt you will find a layer of gneiss and schist. gneiss and schist भी मिलेगा in the peninsular India. इसलिए हम Indian geography में करेंगे the Archean gneiss and schist. अब Archean word क्यों? Because it is very old. So जो original graphite था या sandstone था, it has now got converted into gneiss and schist. Listen to this very carefully. ये किसी बुक्स में नहीं दिया है, and if you see, this is the region जहाँ से क्वेश्चन आएगा. If you can understand this, आपका काम बच जाएगा रटने का of coal fields in India, iron ore mines in India, या mineral deposits in India. Once you understand the rocks, you can tell what is the geology of the region. So except for this peninsular plateau, this entire region is made up of metamorphic rocks. अब इसमें से कुछ region has the oldest metamorphic rock, that is the Archean gneiss and schist, or some region has a comparatively younger metamorphic rock. Comparatively younger because as the Indian plate was moving, कुछ part of an Indian plate broke down, resulting into Vindhyas, Satpuras, etc. So हम कहेंगे इन rock को as Kadapa rocks. But still it is an Archean rock system. It is still an metamorphic rock system. Now as the Indian plate went up, it collided with the Eurasian plate, resulting into intense folding of the three ranges, and therefore what happened? वहाँ पे भी in the Himalayas, which rock should be there? Metamorphic rock should be there. So because Himalayas came out of Tethys Sea, कल अगर क्वेश्चन आता है Himalayas are rich in petroleum resources, true or false? True. Now Himalayas have gneiss and schist. Archean gneiss नहीं है, जो granite था, it has due to the metamorphism it is converted into gneiss. कल क्वेश्चन आता है Himalayas are rich in metallic minerals, true or false? True. Remember, Himalayas are so rich in metallic minerals. वो अलग बात है कि we are not exploring it. Why we are not exploring it? Plate tectonics. Isostatic equilibrium हमें इसका disturb नहीं करना है. Because if we explore it, it will result into landslides. You can see from the recent example in front of you कि floods are mostly caused due to human activities rather than very heavy rainfall. Very heavy rainfall is just a trigger mechanism. You can see what has happened in Kerala. What is the main reason? Is the human activity rather than very, very heavy rainfall. So over the period of time, this rock structure developed. अब बीच में there was a subduction zone, not exactly a subduction zone, but a zone जहाँ से the Indian plate slightly went below the Eurasian plate. It was more of a depression. From this depression, जो rivers जो आ रही थी from the Himalayas, they brought large amount of sediment. So sediments मैंने आपको कहा जितना speed ज़्यादा है उतना more sediment carrying capacity. So Himalayas में speed is more because slope है. But as soon as it enters Haridwar, उसका speed decreases and the land becomes flat, and as a result there was more and more deposition, resulting into formation of the great plains of India right from Punjab region of Pakistan, Indus River say, right up to Assam. Assam is an example of an plains. Geologically, Assam is an example of great plains formed by Brahmaputra. If you go to lower Assam especially, thinking that you will see good mountains, hill stations, you will be disappointed because वहाँ का topography is similar to the topography of the Great Plains. बहुत flat region है. It is only in the upper Assam region जहाँ पे थोड़ा Himalayas and peninsular plateau शुरू होता है, you will find that region is mountainous. So this is an entire region is what is known as an Great Plains. So can I say जहाँ पे आज alluvial soil है, sedimentary rocks, can I say this is an igneous rock, this is an metamorphic rock, but कौन सा metamorphic, recent या archaic? In the peninsular plateau, archaic, very old. And what you will call this as Archean gneiss and schist. Why gneiss? Because original granite. क्यों granite? Simple, continental crust. Granite है because this is an continental crust. That is why you do not have to remember anything. You just have to understand the concept. ये subject बहुत easy है. Archean gneiss and schist क्यों है? क्यों gneiss है? Mostly gneiss क्यों है? That is granite. Because continental crust is made up of granite. यहाँ पे क्यों gneiss है? Himalayas is made up of gneiss, granite, continental crust. उसमें थोड़ा ये reunion hotspot. So हमने देखा hotspots generally come from the oceanic crust. So यहाँ पे क्या है? Basalt. Therefore we have basalt. So you draw this diagram along with me.
Oceanic crust is made of
basalt.
basalt. Then sir, in Himalayan region, it is coming out of ocean.
It is trans Himalayas are basaltic. इसलिए मैंने कहा था काराकोरम, ट्रांस हिमालयस. Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats. So Eastern Ghats coast. कहाँ पे है? ये
ईस्टर्न कोस्ट पे गैप है, मतलब वो लाइन ब्रेक हो रही है.
ईस्टर्न घाट क्योंकि ब्रोक है, ईस्टर्न घाट क्योंकि स्ट्रेट नहीं है, मतलब ईस्टर्न घाट्स कंटिन्यूस नहीं है. Alluvial मतलब deposited by rivers. So obviously Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri have deposited here. Sea waves has broken the rock and therefore यहाँ पे भी we have alluvial soil. हम इस area को कहेंगे coastal plains of India. That is the peninsular plateau. मेघालय, आसाम, अपर आसाम. किसके पास? मैकाल. Mikir Hills. Mikir is peninsular plateau, Upper Assam. Same diagram, I am giving you the side view of India. You can choose to draw any of the diagram. Can you correlate these two diagrams? This here, red color, top view, cross sectional view ऐसा. Magma has come up and it has covered some areas. Because ये step like है इसलिए western घाट्स. बाकी आर्कियन नीस एंड शिस्ट. मैंने आपको वर्ड बताया था इंडियन ज्योग्राफी में हम करेंगे. आर्कियन नीस एंड शिस्ट आर नोन एज बेसमेंट रॉक्स. इसके नीचे कौन सा रॉक मिलेगा? आर्कियन नीस एंड शिस्ट. फाइन विथ दिस? प्लेन्स हमेशा नियर द सी लेवल, इसलिए उनको कहते हैं प्लेन्स. प्लाटू फ्लैट बट मच मच अबव द सी लेवल. प्लेन्स का डेफिनेशन ही है नियर द सी लेवल. A flat region which is nearer to the sea level is plains. A flat region which is above the sea level is plateau. क्यों है ये above the sea level? Because you see this is the boundary of plateau. Vindhya Satpuras, Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. So Gujarat का region which is covered by black soil is known as काठियावाड़ या सौराष्ट्र. मध्य प्रदेश का region which is covered by black soil is known as Malwa Plateau. And Karnataka का region which is covered by black soil is North Karnataka. Northern Karnataka is covered by black soil. बाकी most of the black soil is in Maharashtra. Fine with this? economic geography India, cotton and groundnut. Cottonopolis of India, the largest textile industry in India. Fine. Cotton and sugar cane. Getting it? Tobacco. Andhra, Telangana region, tobacco. Ragi. Oil seeds, the largest producer of oil seeds.
सर उस दिन आपने पूछा था कि वो जो कैश क्रॉप्स हैं वो कैश क्रॉप इंडस्ट्री साउथ की तरफ क्यों शिफ्ट हो रही है सर एक रीजन तो ये हो गया कि स्वीटनेस शुगर केन का अगर हम बात करें
स्वीटनेस जूस अगर शुगर केन यूपी का शुगर केन से चीनी बनाया जाए तो ओनली 9% रिकवरी रेट है, वही सदर्न इंडिया में 14 to 20% है रिकवरी रेट, मतलब 14 to 20% जूस मिलेगा. सो दैट इज़ वन रीज़न. सेकेंड रीज़न यू कैन सी नाउ, कहाँ पे है द कैश क्रॉप के लिए प्रॉपर सॉइल. दिस इज़ द गुड सॉइल फॉर फूड क्रॉप्स, बट उसके बहुत सारे रीज़न हैं. तो वो इंडियन जोग्राफी में वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट रीज़न इज़ टेक्नोलॉजिकल सुपेरियरिटी. दैट इज़ द बिगेस्ट रीज़न. बिकॉज यहाँ पे ब्रिटिशर्स पहले नील या इंडिगो लगाते थे, एंड देन इंडिगो वेंट अवे, तो यहाँ के फार्मर स्टार्टेड टेकिंग शुगर केन. इट हैज़ रिप्लेस्ड इंडिगो कल्टिवेशन बिकॉज नील हैज़ गॉन आउट ऑफ फैशन. सो इंडिगो हैज़ गिवन राइज टू शुगर. हाँ, तो चंपारण सत्याग्रह के बाद इंडिगो वेंट अवे एंड देयरफॉर शुगर केन. देखो, दिस इज ऑल्सो आर्कियन नीस एंड शिस्ट, दिस इज ऑल्सो नीस एंड शिस्ट. दोनों नीस एंड शिस्ट है, बट आर्कियन वर्ड है का मीनिंग है वेरी ओल्ड. सो पेनिनसुलर प्लाटू इज द ओल्डेस्ट लैंडमास इन द वर्ल्ड, एंड इसलिए यहाँ का जो आर्कियन नीस एंड शिस्ट है इट इज वेरी वेरी ओल्ड. यहाँ का आर्कियन नीस एंड शिस्ट इज ड्यू टू intense folding. That is the only difference. Fine with this? Food crops can be taken anywhere. I am telling best suited soil for cash crops versus food crops. Food crops तो you can take even in Leh Ladakh, even in एनी सॉइल. तो ऐसा है, तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ आयरन और माइनिंग थोड़ी है, यहाँ पे भी तो फूड क्रॉप्स है. द रीजन ऑफ फर्स्ट ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन इज नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया एंड ये कोस्ट. दिस इज राइस कल्टीवेशन. फर्स्ट ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन यहाँ पे भी हुआ था. नाउ यू टेक डाउन सम ऑफ द पॉइंट्स. द पेनिनसुलर प्लाटू has the oldest landmass in the world, and therefore the rocks are metamorphic, that is Archean, gneiss and schist. Therefore the rocks are metamorphic, that is the Archean, gneiss and schist. Archean, gneiss and schist. Next, the Deccan lava plateau. Deccan lava plateau. Deccan lava plateau has basaltic rock. क्या? Maharashtra. Deccan lava plateau has basaltic rock. Why? Due to reunion hotspot. This plateau includes, मतलब lava plateau includes plateau includes Saurashtra, or Kathiawad, region of Gujarat, मालवा प्लाटू, लिखना मालवा प्लाटू बिकॉज मालवा प्लेन्स पंजाब में है, तो मालवा प्लाटू ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश, मालवा प्लाटू ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश, कॉमा, नदन कर्नाटक, नदन कर्नाटक, and most of Maharashtra, and most of Maharashtra. Next point, Himalayas are made up of gneiss and schist. Himalayas are made up of gneiss and schist. Due to intense folding. Due to intense folding. Due to intense folding. The sediments, next point, the sediments brought down by the Himalayan rivers, brought down by the Himalayan rivers, were deposited to give rise to Great Plains of India. Give rise to the Great Plains of India, stretching between Indus to Brahmaputra. Stretching between Indus to Brahmaputra. The older tributaries of Indus, older tributaries of Indus filled up a narrow, shallow sea. Filled up a narrow, shallow sea to form the Kutch region. To form the Kutch region. To form the Kutch region. So गुजरात में दो पार्ट है, ऊपर का पार्ट technically is an part of Great Plains and lower part is technically a part of Peninsular Plateau. So ये समंदर था and river Indus के tributaries have deposited the sediments here. So आज भी whenever there is an high tide in this, water level comes up from below the alluvial soil, and whenever there is low tide, water disappears. So जब समंदर का पानी ऊपर आता है, it brings the salt and deposits it there, and when water goes away, salt remains. So this is the largest salt producing state of India. Secondly, these are marshy desert, run matlab marsh. Why? Because it is made up of this marshy plains, or it is also not marshy matlab कीचड़, and it is also known as an white desert, white sands. So this is the region. So Gujarat का ये part याद रखना, the Kutch region. In the same point, coastal erosion and the deposition of sediments, coastal erosion and the deposition of sediments on the western coast, on the deposition of sediments has given rise to, not on the western coast, deposition of sediments has given rise to The coastal plains of India has given rise to the coastal plains of India. कौन सी रिवर्स आर बड़ी, ईस्ट फ्लोइंग रिवर्स या वेस्ट फ्लोइंग रिवर्स? जो इंडिया के ईस्ट में जा रही है और या जो यहाँ के वेस्ट में जा रही है, ईस्ट. सो यू कैन सी हाउ वाइडर आर द कोस्टल प्लेन्स एंड यहाँ पे द कोस्टल प्लेन्स आर सो नैरो. फाइन विद दिस? मनु को बोलना लैपटॉप ले आए.
Coastal plains are wider because of they form delta rivers.
Yes, because they form delta. Sediments बहुत ज़्यादा है. रिवर इंटरलिंकिंग अलग टॉपिक है. डोंट जम्प द टॉपिक्स, विल कम टू ईच एंड एवरी टॉपिक. नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग. जब भी बसाल्ट ब्रेक होगा तो कौन सा सॉइल? ब्लैक सॉइल. जब भी आर्कियन नीस एंड शिस्ट ब्रेक होगा तो रेड एंड येलो सॉइल. रेड इज ड्यू टू द प्रेजेंस ऑफ आयरन. एलुवियल सॉइल, एलुवियल सॉइल. एक बार ये मैप समझ में आ गया तो पूरी सॉइल्स ऑफ इंडिया इज वेरी इजी. ब्लैक सॉइल, रेड एंड येलो सॉइल, एलुवियल सॉइल, desert soil. Alluvial soil का कुछ part is known as an desert soil and mountain soils in this region. Fine. Ghat is mountain, coast. Coast and ghat is two different things. Don't confuse the two things. Fine with this? Ab, if you want to study the resources, चल रहा है. ये नीचे खींचना. So areas of first green revolution, areas of first green revolution, agriculture. सिर्फ यहाँ पे wheat, यहाँ पे rice. दो मिनट. So can I continue? नहीं मेरे को डायरेक्ट स्लाइड दिखाना. So I guess we stopped here in this slide while looking at this slide last time. So what is this? Continental drift and the plate tectonics. Right off the line. करके देख. Is it fine? वो एक light. We have seen this also, that is the convectional currents that arise from the mantle, and therefore we see that we have an, जहाँ पे they are diverging we have divergent plate boundary, जहाँ पे converging we have an convergent plate boundary, results into formation of mid-oceanic ridges and seafloor spreading. Fine with this? And I guess this was the last slide we had seen. Mid-oceanic ridge is the biggest mountain system on the earth. You have also seen how the mid-oceanic ridge operates. This is how what is continuously occurring along the sea floor. Fine with this? Now this is how the basic lava is flowing. Understanding? So this is an example of an basic lava flow Iceland. Jahan it is solidified, black color rock, what is this? Basalt. This is a perfect example of an basalt. Now when this basalt rock is there, iron to hai isme. So if this is the magnetic field of the earth today, normal magnetic field, and over the period of time the magnetic field goes on reversing. So this is an regular occurring phenomena because convectional currents are changing the direction and therefore the magnetic field reverses. As the magnetic field is reversing, जो भी इसमें iron या जो भी metallic minerals है, when the lava starts cooling and solidifying, जो metallic minerals है इसमें, what they will do? They will get adjusted as per the magnetic field. So that study is what is known as an paleomagnetism. So remember, वैसे the general law is the Earth's magnetic pole reverses after some time period, generally after 1 lakh years. ये भी इस साल का prelims का question था. That is the is there a reversal of magnetic pole or not? तो the study of magnet, इतना ही paleomagnetism आपको ज़रूरी है. You do not have to go into detail of paleomagnetism. The study of magnetic field in the ancient rocks is known as paleomagnetism. Paleomagnetism is an evidence of continental drift क्योंकि जैसे continent started drifting, obviously the magnetic alignment of the rock started changing. अगर इंडिया यहाँ पे था initially, alignment was in the north and south. Then India came here, north and south went in the other direction. So this is what is the paleomagnetism, and this shows that how the continents have drifted and how the plate tectonics have occurred. So when we study, this is how a rock may, if this is magnetite, magnetite मतलब क्या है ये कौन सा rock है? Iron ore. The best quality iron ore is known as magnetite. So in the magnetite, when we break any rock which is having magnetite, this is how the arrangement of the crystals is there. It shows the direction of magnetic field which was existing during that time. On the other hand, if we, and this is how it will become solidified. And after solidification, it will develop in this direction. So when the geologist will take out this rock, बाहर निकलने से पहले obviously they will see what is the direction of a magnetic field, and then you can determine कि कौन सा, you have a mathematical calculation, so you can determine कि उस समय कहाँ पे था magnetic field. We have done the plate tectonics. So you can go through the different plates also, Pacific plate, Eurasian plate, etc. Again a diagram here, or in simple way the diagram is also been given of all the important plates here. Keep on revising this. And जहाँ पे they are converging, what is this? Mid-continental belt. What is this? Pacific ring of fire. And what is this? Mid-oceanic belt. Mid-oceanic ridge या mid-oceanic belt. So जो red color है that is divergent plate boundary, जो yellow color है that is transform plate boundary, and जहाँ पे ये arrows दिए है that is the as if it is look, that is an example of an convergent plate boundary. Fine with this? And therefore we will see that most of the fold mountains are located at the, all the fold mountains are located at the convergent plate boundary, but most of the fold mountains are located at the convergence of ocean plate and the continental plate, except to that of an Himalayas. Now, what is a monoclinal fold? Single is inclined. So this is how the monoclinal fold looks in the nature. जब आप mountains को break करोगे तो you will find this is an monoclinal fold. One limb is inclined steeply while the other may not be an incline. Getting it? What is an isoclinal fold? Both the limbs are inclined and more or less parallel to each other, but they are not parallel to ground surface. So this is an example of an isoclinal fold. Both the limbs are parallel, but they are not inclined to the, they are not parallel to the ground surface. इसके बाद what is the stage? What is the stage? Recumbent fold. So what happens in the recumbent fold? They are parallel to the ground. So this is an example of an recumbent fold. The limbs are folded in such a way that they become parallel to the ground, and also they are parallel to each other. उसके बाद का stage is an overthrust fold, when the limbs break. So the limbs break here. Can you see यहाँ पे the limb has broken, and उसके बाद it will be further taken away. So what is, and उसके बाद then when they move we call this as an nape. Nape को identify करना इतना आसान नहीं है. So we have shown you this diagram here. What is a nape? Overthrust होने के बाद there is a displacement which is occurring, and this can be an example of an nape, but उसके लिए you will have to understand the geology. That is, after breaking this entire mountain, ये जो part है mountain का, it has moved much away, and as a result of this we have a formation of nape here. So पूरा mountainous region here, एक single isolated mountain is in this region, and therefore this is known as an nape. क्यों? टूट के it has gone in some other direction. Fine with this? So some of the important points regarding rocks: 98% of the total crust of the earth is composed of 8 elements. We have written this also. Types of rocks: igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. Igneous rocks, what is the key word? Crystalline rocks. They do not contain fossils. On the surface of the earth, extrusive. Below the surface of the earth, intrusive. Why they are known as primary rocks? Because they are the first rocks that are formed due to cooling and solidification of magma. When magma cools and solidifies, it will have crystals. Below the earth, if the molten materials are cooled slowly, the mineral grains will be larger, that is large crystals. And intrusive igneous rocks will be having more crystals. Deep igneous rocks are also known as plutonic. ये भी हमने कल देखा है. And उसके ऊपर is hypabyssal. उसके ऊपर is the surface rocks. Sudden cooling at the surface results into small and smooth grains. Example is basalt. Intermediate cooling would result into intermediate size of the grains. Such rocks are known as hypabyssal. They are not easily eroded or weathered. Fine with this? So you can see the size of the crystal keeps on varying. Granite, plutonic. Mineral grain का size is greater. Basalt में इतना छोटा है grains that we have to identify them, and this is an example of an gabbro. Gabbro hypabyssal है. Fine with this? Sedimentary rocks, denudational agent. Keywords I have highlighted: compaction and lithification. They are found in the bedding planes and therefore they are known as stratified. 3 types: mechanically formed, chemically formed, and organically formed. Based on this, we say mechanically formed, we divide it in the size of the grains from larger to smaller. So on the size of the grains, mechanically formed sedimentary rock are conglomerates. Conglomerates because the size of the sediments is bigger. Conglomerates से थोड़ा छोटा is the sandstone. Sandstone से उसके बाद is the limestone. I have not shown you the limestone here, but उससे भी छोटा is shale. And shale से एकदम very minute particles is known as loess. So what you should remember, the size of the sediments will go on decreasing. Fine with this? The conglomerates will be having large sediments. Clear? Rocks formed due to dissolution, decomposition of are known as chemically formed. Example is chert. Chert matlab it is kind of an salt pan only, salt rock only. Limestone, halite, potash, gypsum, etc. I am asked you about the gypsum. Farmers are advised to add gypsum to the soil to reduce soil salinity caused by excessive irrigation. Example Punjab, canal irrigation. Why? Because it improves the infiltration. Infiltration means, see, suppose if a salt comes up, sodium, salt means sodium, it will come up due to capillary action. What do you mean by capillary action? That is, surface tension say, automatically when any liquid comes on the ground, it is known as an capillary action. Now this water is full of minerals. It, due to capillary action, it accumulates the farms. Already इस farm में इतना ज़्यादा पानी है due to over irrigation, canal irrigation से. So it comes up, this minerals get accumulated. But Punjab, Haryana and Western UP is a dry region, semi-arid region. So यहाँ से heat इतनी ज़्यादा है कि water is evaporated. What remains back is the salt, sodium. So वहाँ पे gypsum we add because it will react with the sodium and remove the sodium. When it removes the sodium, it opens the pores. When it opens the pores, soil can breathe. Soil can breathe. In simple words, it helps the water, excess water to be removed along with the salt. So gypsum improves the ability of the soil to drain and not become waterlogged due to the combination of high sodium, swelling clay and excess water. When we apply gypsum to the soil, it allows water to move in the soil and allow the crop to grow well. अब कल applied question आता है, does gypsum increase the water retention capacity of the soil or decreases the water retention? It decreases the water retention capacity of the soil. Now coming to the organically formed sedimentary rocks. That is an example of an limestone. Organically sedimentary rocks are due to the accumulation and lithification of organic debris. Debris means any broken particle. Bones and shales, limestone. But marine organisms जो है, microorganisms, which are rich in silica, they will form this rock जिसको हम कहेंगे chert. Coal तो आपको सबको पता है. So limestone, chert and coal are the best example. Limestone more of an calcium, इसलिए white in color. Chert more of an silica. So it is slightly darker in color as compared to the limestone. Now see application part here. सबसे पहले application shale gas. Shale gas refers to the natural gas that is trapped within the shale formation. कौन सा है shale? Sedimentary rock. Shale gas are fine grained non porous sedimentary rock. Non porous है, non permeable भी है. So that can be rich resources of petroleum and natural gas. Shale is less permeable and therefore extraction of shale gas is difficult. I have told you yesterday what is required is we do fracking. Fracking is hydraulic fracturing also. It is a technique in which water, chemicals and sand are pumped into the well to unlock the hydrocarbons trapped in the shale formations by opening cracks, therefore fractures, and in the rock and allowing the natural gas to flow from shell into the well. Pipeline से जो well में. Remember gorgum is used for fracking. India में कहाँ पे है shale gas? There are 6 regions. कैम्बे, कौन सा region है कैम्बे? गुजरात. उसके बाद आसाम अराकान रीजन, नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया. गोंडवाना, सेंट्रल इंडिया. कृष्णा गोदावरी, ये सबसे ज़्यादा न्यूज़ में है, केजी बेसिन. सो कृष्णा गोदावरी ऑनशोर, कावेरी ऑनशोर एंड इंडो गैंजेटिक बेसिन. A past year question has been, in India shale gas is found only in onshore fields, not on the land. True or false? False. It is found only also on the land as well as on the shore. So these are the important regions of the shale gas. This entire region, Assam, Arunachal, but सबसे potential ज़्यादा high है in the KG basin region and the Kaveri basin region. We have also in the Gondwana region and the Cambe region. यहाँ पे already oil fields है. India's most important oil field, Bombay High, and the richest oil field in India, Basin High, both are located here. Coal, we have done this. Anthracite, bituminous, lignite, peat, we have done this also. So Carboniferous period is the period of coal formation, but Indian coal does not belong to the Carboniferous period, which is hence it is comparatively new. Gondwana coal is a bituminous coal. India has anthracite only in Jammu and Kashmir. So remember this world distribution. Top 2 producers of coal in the world, China number 1 and India number 2, उसके बाद number 3 is USA. ये recently change हुआ है, so याद रखना USA, India is no longer number 3. Top 2 importers of coal in the world, India and China. What does it show? We do not have anthracite, and this also shows the level of industrialization in China. China has anthracite, but उसका देसी anthracite बहुत कम पड़ता है. Why? Because manufacturing industry dominates in China. India में इतनी ज़्यादा manufacturing industry नहीं है, but China has a very high amount of manufacturing industry. Who is the exporter? Australia. What does it show? Industrial manufacturing industry does not operate in Australia. Australia is associated. Australia में वैसे आप देखोगे कोई खुद की factories नहीं, because it is based on the island. So Australia एक ऐसी developed nation है. Australia is a developed nation. China and India are developing countries. Southeast Asia, Indonesia, etc. is developing countries. Asia में एक ही developed nation है, that is Japan. And to some extent we can call South Korea. So ये एक ही ऐसा developed nation है which will export the raw material. बाकी के developed nations do not export the raw material. They will manufacture and export the value added goods. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you.
Few copies of mains test has been evaluated, so collect your copies. Vijay Singh. And be careful while quoting the facts. Battle of Plassey did not held in 1953 or 1956. Okay. Nidhish Tomar. Who is Vijay Singh? Nidhish Tomar. Apurva Pandey. Harshad Balasaheb Jadhav.